Shepherd, and I'm back talking about emotional freedom techniques, EFT tapping. More specifically, EFT and depression. I spoke recently about the little voice in the head. Oh, just again a reminder, I'm not a professional in the medical field, in the therapy field, and anything having to do with clinically dealing with depression or treating it in any way. I'm just sharing my experiences. I spoke in an earlier blog about articulating the voice in the head, all the bad stuff that's racing around in there, what seems like all the time, and speaking it out loud and looking yourself in the mirror and looking yourself in the eye using a mirror and saying it, and what profound healing technique that is in my experience. Something else you might want to consider is finding a picture of yourself as a baby, as a toddler, as a little kid, someone who's still that stage when you're still open to the world and everything came in as truth and you absorbed it, good, bad, and you wholeheartedly were there and you were present. We would never, I think, any decent person who was not in the throes of some anxiety attack or whatever, intentionally yell or hurt a little child. And we get very upset if we see anybody else doing that to a child, and that's just instinctive self-protection. The little kid inside of us doesn't have that protection because we're doing it to ourselves, and we have no more intimate, profound, impactful relationship in the world than the one we have with ourselves. So let's try and get a handle on this voice in our head. So in addition to looking at yourself in the mirror and tapping and articulating what's going on in your head, try finding a picture, a baby picture, a toddler picture. Look at that little kid. Would you ever dream of saying nasty things to that little kid? Not intentionally. I don't think so. Yet that's happening every day, all day, because that little kid, that little nugget, that little soul has not disappeared. You're that person. And yet on it goes in your head. Try looking at that picture, that child, and start saying what's going on in your head. And tap. And tap. And feel. And work through it. Tap, tap, tap. Tap where you think it feels good. Often for me, I like the top of my head. Wherever you think you need it. It's all these spots. And you don't even have to say it if you can't say it. Just feel it. You might cry. You might just be angry. You might feel guilt. Who knows? Just tap. Tap, tap, tap. Stare at that little kid who is still you. Tap and let it go. Breathe and be free. Emotional freedom technique, EFT tapping. Hope it helps.